Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a special SOS message for the Twin Flame Collective. And so I got all kinds of downloads over the last few days. I know the energy is very thick, it's dense, it's like an emotional roller coaster ride for many of the twins. I know a lot of the divine feminines have been purging a lot of emotions, from sacred rage to grief, and then going to moments of bliss and ecstatic energies. And I know it was very cathartic the last couple of days for myself. And I kept hearing SOS. And so a big number sync that stood out was 303. But what I heard was my guide saying SOS. And so a lot of these downloads came through yesterday, which would have been the 29th. So 04292023 actually breaks down to master number 22. So yesterday, April 29th, was a master number 22 day. And so what we have going on now collectively with all of the celestial bodies doing what they're doing is we have this very short window of opportunity for twin flame reunion. So pay attention. If you've recently gone through a major separation or a major ending or breakup from somebody that you called your twin flame, the angels are saying SOS, that person that you were with was not your true twin flame. If you've gone through a breakup, I'm going to say, you know, by the end of last year into the energies right now, this was not your twin flame. This was a false twin flame contract. And this person needed whatever love from you and connection from you that you were offering. And so the energies are saying SOS, forget about these people. Forget about that person. That person is not your twin flame, because at this point on the twin flame journey, the bond at this point should be long lasting and infinite. Okay. And so the 303, that 0 point again, is that Genesis. A lot of mirroring syncs have been coming in. And so the 0 point in the 303 is the reset, right? 3 represents the Empress, right? 3 is the Empress, the goddess, the divine feminine. And the root number of 303 is 6, which represents love and family. You think of all of the 6s in the tarot. Let's start with the major arcana. We get the Lovers and we get the Devil card, right? Because the Devil is a 15, breaks down to a 6. And so false twin flame is the Devil. True twin flame bond is the Lovers. And so if you've recently gone through a separation from your twin flame, likely this energy is telling you that person was never meant to be in your life infinitely. They were never meant to be your family. They were never, ever your true twin flame. And I know that's going to be a hard pill to swallow. And if you didn't like hearing that, you've probably already clicked off. So if you're still with me, let's carry on, okay? And so we're letting go of these false twin flame connections. And we're all being asked to refocus our efforts, because the true twin flame is nearby. And the true twin flame needs us to heal from these these false fake twin flame relationships, so that we can reconnect and connect and deepen this bond. And so I know it's not a great message to put out there for those of you that have gone through a recent separation and wanted to convince yourself that this was your twin flame. Unfortunately, it was likely some type of deeply seated trauma bond, soul connection from a past life, that you were meant to clear this life. You were never, ever meant to be with this person in the first place. And so refocus your energy on finding who you are and healing from this connection, because the twin flames who have done the shadow work, who have cleared the karmic baggage, this is a big energy that reunion is near. We've got some big cosmic energies playing out this week. And so if you've not met your twin flame yet in person, SOS is a sign to be optimistic about your love life, that you will soon encounter them and recognize them for the first time. And so we need to remember, as twin flames, we are a force to be reckoned with. We are a force of nature, and we are capable of far more than people realize. We are far more capable of manifesting real change in the collective than most other people on the spiritual journey, whether we mean to or not, right? And so SOS is telling the twin flames that something is lined up for us. The universe is lining everything up in perfect order for us to take advantage of this small window of opportunity to grow and evolve spiritually. And so it's something both twins have to do. We both have to do the shadow work in order to take full advantage of this window of opportunity. And so this is a very rare opportunity to see the patterns clearly on the journey in order to lift the limitations and the blocks. And so I wouldn't squander this energy, divine feminine. Do not squander this energy worrying about if your twin is going to do their part. We can't control the twin doing their part, but what we can do is we can focus on what we can do. And I know this triggers a lot of the divine feminines because we feel like we are abandoned and have to go through this entire process alone. But the more focus you put on you, the easier it is to trigger the divine masculine to follow suit in your footsteps. And so the simple act of either one of the twins, I feel, doing something in this window of opportunity would likely be enough to clear all of these blocks that have been there for a while. And so SOS is a very strong message for the twins, and it is a confirmation too that you are likely real twin flames if you've been in doubt and you've been in separation for a long time. And so I feel the reunion energy is going back to, like, if you've been in separation since maybe 2016, 17, 18, 19, these are the twins that are coming into union right now. So release that doubt. Not many people have this type of spiritual opportunity in their lives because it is a very rare connection, twin flames. And it doesn't necessarily confirm twin flame as well. And what I kept hearing from the guides was, act now, do something. Act now, do something. 721. And so this is not the time for indecision or to allow this gateway opportunity to pass us by as twin flames. And so where can you follow your intuition? What is it telling you to do? What feels most right in the heart? Not the mind, not the ego, in the heart. What external signs has the universe been bringing forward, drawing your attention to the spiritual path with your twin flame? You're either going to be seeing your counterpart's name everywhere, or their birthday somewhere, or songs on the radio that remind you of this person. So pay attention, because this is the moment for the twins to step into the spotlight, to step into these leadership roles, and for us to shine, to be bold, and to create these new foundations for life. So where can you explore the spiritual world around you with these energies? Because this is not an ordinary opportunity when it comes to gateways. This is the gateway portal and the key to reaching union now. And so if you're stuck, if you're uncertain, I would love to, and I can help you with a twin flame reading for you to understand the dynamics, or to maybe let you know that this was a false twin flame. And that will likely open up an opportunity to end the separation phase right now. And so a lot that have been in separation for many years, we are ending the separation phase of the twin flame journey this week. And so if you've been doing the spiritual work that you've been asked to do, we do have the opportunity to enter into the next stage together. And so get ready to save some time coming up here if you've done the work. If you've been separated from your twin flame for a while, I want to say it's time to rejoice, because union is around the corner. And it is not only an imminent reunion on the cards for the twin flames, but this will be more successful than we could ever imagine. And so a lot of the twins have worked hard to overcome these karmic issues, these problems, all of these underlying blocks that have kind of originally split us apart in the very first place, which goes back to the original soul split many, many lifetimes ago. And so the angels want us to recognize that we've done a lot of work, that you've grown so much. I know if I look back to the very first video I put out on YouTube, to now, I have grown so much. I've evolved so much. I've gained so much more confidence. And so I feel a lot of the feminines are really ready to commit. We want that committed partnership, but we will not take the masculine back if he is not matured in a respectable manner and way. And so SOS is reminding the divine feminine to stop overthinking the reunion. When we live in the present moment and we're in a positive vibration, positivity attracts more positivity. So you gotta be in the spotlight. You gotta shine that light, divine feminine, in order for your twin flame to make themselves known to you. We need to be able to radiate openness along with tolerance. And so we're here to always keep working on ourselves. This journey is like a forever ever journey, right? It is an infinite connection. And so if you've been struggling, look inward. That will likely help. And to make sure that you are actually grounded in the best version of yourself that you can be. And every day, wake up 11:11 on the timer and ask yourself, how can I be a better person than I was yesterday? Or at least try to be that highest version of yourself. Because only when you and your twin flame are both ready in the earthly realm will we come together spiritually as one. We can't connect while we have all of these underlying blocks and spiritual contracts to clear from past lives. And so SOS is a clear indication that it's time to sit down and have that heart-to-heart conversation with the counterpart. Communication is just as important in twin flame relationships as in any other relationships. And so we're being asked to lean on each other right now. We're here to show respect to one another in relationships. We're here to listen to one another. And we're both here to grow, not only as individuals, but within a partnership together. And so I know it feels like we all want to kind of give up. It did feel like wanting to give up, but the angels are always looking out for us. And so with yesterday being a master number 22 day, 22 does break down to a 4. We need to remember the Twin Flame Collective is here to catalyze this entire transformation for the world. And so the twins are visionaries. We're architects of these future timelines. And so a lot of us have these higher utopian perspectives. And we're here to inspire others. We're here to provide ambitious goals that maybe others need as part of their continuous evolution process. But we also are here to be grounded and stable and practical, right? 4 is about grounded, stable practicality. And so we're here to ground these visions. And the visions that the twins have for the future are anything but ordinary, right? And so with 22 breaking down to a 4, I was asked to also mention 13. And so for my twin flame journey, my path of destiny is 13. And my counterpart's path of destiny is 31, 13, 31, the mirror. And so as I go through my personal, profound spiritual evolution and transformation journey, the counterpart was in the 31 energy in the 5 of Wands. 31, the vibration of 31 is linked to the 5 of Wands. And so I do feel the twins are here to bring forward this innate sense of security and stability when we're around people, right? People are magnetically drawn to the divine feminine and the twin flames as a whole because we inspire confidence in people, because we have harnessed that within our own spiritual, mental, and physical body. And so we're here to be these great leaders. And to organize these spiritual group efforts for our humanitarian mission. And so I feel many of the masculines are finally beginning to realize their true calling, but they also need to ground these grand visions and materialize them in the physical world if we are to help others. And so all of these energies are very carefully, cosmically directed, right? And so we have to always follow our soul's calling in this life. Otherwise, we will become lethargic. And that's what it felt like on the weekend, because we can't stay confined in the comfort zone of safety, because that safe comfort zone is not safe at all. And so the twins are here and destined for a lot of great things. This is also why we go through a lot of very traumatic relationship cycles to overcome and to find our courage. And we have to honor our self-belief. If we don't have a self-belief, we have no leg to stand on. And so if we don't honor our self-belief, then we are wasting away our talents. And so a lot of the twins have this destiny of bringing forward this masterful Gnostic esoteric teaching to inspire these new humanistic ideals, practical ideals. And so our mission is to be these master builders for humankind, pretty much, right? And so this is a very spiritual path with all master numbers, right? And especially if you've got 13 in your chart. And so the twin flame connection will prod and poke until you step out of that comfort zone, because what seems steady and secure might not really be substantial in the long run. And so we have to pull ourselves out of our comfort zone. And this is very uncomfortable until we get the hang of it, right? It's not easy to put yourself out there publicly. And I know how scary it can be. And it can be a little bit awkward too, to record a video and watch yourself on camera. It takes a lot of self-confidence to put yourself out there. And I didn't start off with a lot of confidence, but I kept going one foot in front of the other, right? And so right now I feel there's a lot of rules that a lot of the divine masculines have broken. And this is bring forward a lot of challenging times, a lot of confrontations, I feel, in order for the masculine to start looking towards building solid foundations or this enterprise with the divine feminine. A lot of the divine feminines have the big picture in front of them at all times. The feminine sees it all, right? And so I feel the masculines are challenged right now. They're not really feeling up to the task. Because, you know, I think they've gone into a little bit of entitlement of the comfort zone, and they're looking at the feminine who's building fame and fortune. And I think they're just cringing at this right now. I feel, you know, the masculines just wanted to make a lot of money. And they abandoned the feminine, and which really hindered her feelings and sense of security for a long time. And now the feminine is manifesting all of this abundance, is what it looks like. And the masculine, I feel, has been mentally dragged down to rock bottom, is what it feels like. And so a lot of the masculines are being pushed towards honoring spiritual practices, getting rooted in day-to-day spiritual practices. They can no longer avoid this awakening process. As stubborn as they are, the avoidance tendency will no longer work. A lot of these masculines wanted to be a know-it-all, and they've gathered a lot of support, or what I want to call the flying monkeys, to kind of set up the feminine to bring her down. And now those systems are no longer working. They can no longer avoid the responsibility to the feminine and to the collective when it comes to their mission. And so a lot of the feminines, right, we get very angry, we get very upset because we find ourselves doing it all by ourselves. While the masculines are not living up to their destiny on the journey. And so we do need to remember we are stronger together. The twins are master healers. And we're here to bring forth this higher form of love to the world. And we do this by being rooted in joy and fun and healing our inner child and having that heartfelt communication with others, that heartfelt expression. I'm really having a hard time with my words with Mercury in retrograde, and we do have Pluto going retrograde tomorrow. And so bear with me, because Pluto is hitting my south node, and it's hitting my my 12th house. And it's also hitting my daughter's Chiron core wound is in Aquarius, along with her 7th house of one-on-one relationships. And so shit's a little bit tense in the house right now, as all of the father wounding is coming up and all of that stuff, right? And so I do feel this is another energy pushing the masculine towards healing this connection and the wake of damage that they kind of left behind. And so I feel the masculines are being asked to step into their calling as healers, as teachers, to lead by example through the power of love, right? And that is what we all come from, is unconditional love. And so we're meant to be here on a service mission. A lot of us are energy conduits to healing on whatever level we are most compelled to engage in. We all have our own gifts and talents and healing modalities that we're here to remember and remaster. And so the master healer, so to speak, or the twin flame path presupposes that. And we have to take on these leadership positions. And so we have Pluto stationing retrograde tomorrow. And what I want to say is these energies are ruthless. Get ready to be called out. Get ready to have somebody call you out. And so Pluto goes retrograde tomorrow, May 1st at 0 degrees 27 in Aquarius. And it will not end until October 10th at 27 degrees 53. So a 0 point at 27, and then we're going to close out that cycle in Capricorn. And then Pluto will not fully be back into Aquarius until 2024. And so get ready to go back. Get ready to go back and address the Pluto and Capricorn energy if you didn't master that lesson. And so Pluto retrograde is always, retrogrades are internal, right? Retrogrades are always about reflection and reviewing and reassessing. And Pluto is ruled by Scorpio, right? And we do have that full moon eclipse in Scorpio on the 5th. And that is a 555 portal day. Can we say, get ready for some massive, intense, inevitable change, whether we're ready for it or not? Because that's going to be a South Node eclipse. And so this is a time of reflecting over any power and control issues in our life. And so many times it seems like the twins are at war with one another, but this is your enemy, right? I noticed the 22 on the timer. And so, there's going to be a lot of power and control issues, and there's going to be a lot of consequences because this is also attached to the April 20th total solar eclipse that was the new moon in Aries at 29 degrees. And so we have Jupiter square Pluto while it goes retrograde. And so this is going to reveal the consequences of any ruthless past actions where you've played into greed and corruption. And let me tell you, karma comes back around for everybody. You cannot avoid the law of cause and effect and karma. Karma is no different than dharma. What we put out there, we receive. So if you've been ruthless, if you've not faced the consequences of your past greedy, corrupt actions, well, Pluto's coming in and they're saying you better get ready. You just better get ready to do some very deep self-inner shadow work and reflection. And so because it's an outer planet, it is a generational planet. And so this, Pluto usually goes retrograde every year, lasting 5 months. But something about this specific retrograde is huge, right? Where can you address power and control issues in your life where people have maybe controlled or manipulated you? Let me tell you that the sacred rage coming up with the manipulation that I've had to go through with my ex, with my counterpart, basically with every single man that has ever dated me or laid their hands on me, the energy underlying all of the control, abuse, and manipulation that I have endured this earthly life, along with past lives, that's been a tough one, right? And so now's the time to let that go. It's time to let it go, especially if you've been the one too controlling of another. And let me say, a lot of these masculines ghost us and block communication, leave us dangling on a string like a little carrot dangling in front of our eyes, and they don't leave us with any closure. That is a form of abuse and control. That is emotional abuse. It is a controlling energy, and that is not healthy for any relationship. Also, if you've been holding on too tight to that false twin flame relationship, if you've been playing into all of these obsessive, compulsive behaviors, Well, Pluto's going to say it's time to get a hold of your life. Why has your life gone way off the tracks, way off the rails? Because the energy is really feeling a little bit unhinged, and to be honest, okay? Especially if you've overdone it with food addictions, porn addictions, sex addictions. A lot of these masculines are addicted to these dating sites. A lot of these men are married and on these dating sites with these fake profiles, and women too. I gotta say, what is your worth? What is your value? You're not going to find anything of worth or value on these dating sites. And so you're only going to find a high value woman or man that's done the shadow work, and they're not out there looking. They're doing the work, and they're trusting that the universe is going to allow them to attract a vibrational match. We're not going looking for these low vibrational connections anymore. And so get ready to take a hold on all of these obsessive, compulsive, addictive behaviors, whatever that may be for you. It could even be overworking. There's likely going to be some type of event, extreme event, that will illuminate these very intense, destructive behaviors. Extreme destructive behaviors in order for you to go through an extreme spiritual purification of detoxification. And we do have to go through that withdrawal. It's like, an addict going through withdrawal, right? And so a lot of these trauma bonds, it's an addiction. And you do have to go through withdrawal, like if you were a heroin addict from that trauma bond. And you're best to kind of go cold turkey. And so I've reconnected with a divine masculine last night. And he asked me, how's it going with the quitting smoking? And I was like, hey, it's not going. And so this is another thing my guides have been on me. Just bite the bullet, Laura. Look at everything you've overcome in your life. just bite the bullet and go cold turkey. And yet here I am, 26:53. I noticed on the timer. That's interesting. That's a Leo North Node alignment for my good friend in Scotland, her Karmic. Actually, that's his North Node alignment. Interesting. I noticed that. But I do feel there's a lot of intense destructive behaviors coming up. And so when we play into these scorpionic energies, it would be the Scorpio. So watch where you have Scorpio in your chart. I feel if you're a Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Venus, or Scorpio rising, get ready to face these intense destructive behaviors. Where you've played into suspicions, maybe secrecy. Racism is also coming up, right? Gambling is an addictive issue. Like I said, pornography. It's time to take back control, because all of these lustful devil energies, they do hold us back on our spiritual evolution. Drinking lowers our vibration. And so it's really hard to trust in your spirit guides when you're in the extreme energy of toxicity. And so it's really hard to connect with your guides and your ancestors, right? And so a lot of us have these gene codes expressed within our DNA, and we are here to break these family curses, or like these ancestral patterns or curses, so to speak. And we're here to destroy all of those things that are no longer working. So retrograde is about internal destruction, dismantling. It's kind of like the tower reversed. It's an internal, unavoidable change. And so what has control over you in your life? Because it will always decrease your spiritual power. But recognizing that and taking charge will lead to personal mastery, the 22, right? And so this is going to be a very, very applying cosmic shift this week coming up. I guess it's going to be a forecast. We're just going to talk about it all. Because when Pluto goes retrograde, it will be square Jupiter. And so squares intensify, right? Square is external, right? We talked about that in another video. So square is like an outer catalyst upheaval. Oppositions are internal. So, but Jupiter square Pluto won't be exact until May 17th. And I believe on May 16th is when Jupiter also moves into Taurus. So that's going to be a whole other energy, right? And so all of these are kind of in the background, though, inching closer and closer to that exact mark. So a lot of relationship problems. This is where our enemies are going to be exposed, our frenemies, right? These people that have posed as friends that really are our enemies, wolves in sheep clothing. I also feel this aspect is bringing forward a positive shift for the divine feminine to manifest a lot of success and fame, and a richness. And so this is going to really bring forward a lot of hidden enemies to divine feminine. I feel the masculine is needing to face all of this excessive pride where he's overestimated things, and where this greed that he's played into with like that Four of Pentacles. And greed is also a wording of communication and emotions. It's not always about the tangible things. And so I feel the masculine's likely going to face a major loss or exposure of some scandal or embarrassing secret. And so this is why us on the twin flame journey, we are asked to maintain such high spiritual moral standards that will ensure success. Are you coming from a place of integrity? Because any ruthless behaviors are going to have consequences. We cannot avoid facing the consequences for our actions and our decisions. So Pluto's going to eliminate the greed, the corruption, the immorality, and any other negative manifestations that Jupiter is going to expose. And so all of these combined energies and influences, and then you throw the eclipse in on the 555 portal, this can mean bankruptcies, losing homes, foreclosures. I do feel collectively we're going into some type of recession. There could be like some type of financial fall with the banking systems. Many people will likely be losing their jobs. Any type of repercussions surrounding greed, corporate greed, and stuff like that. And so the twins have this great social power to face all of these challenges and to manifest the new beginning. And so nobody can take power away from you, but I do feel the masculine is losing power. And so there's going to be all kinds of huge conflicts this week. I can't sugarcoat that at all. So you might even find yourself wanting to challenge everybody. I know my daughter has just been challenging me, and I'm like, oh my God, motherhood is so freaking hard. Being a mom is so hard. And so that's my biggest challenge right now. And to not have like that healthy father figure, to not have a father around for her at all, it's very, very challenging, right? I've been rebuilding and reforming this foundation with me and the girls for several years now, and I'm like ready to fire fucks at everybody that has ever hurt my children or hurt me. And I'm like, Laura, just stay inside and don't play into the drama, because it is very combative energy, and I'm struggling internally with the lack of acknowledgement for the wake of damage left by a lot of these masculines, right? And so we're being asked to restore many things right now, to rebuild many things, to face these karmic issues head on, especially when it comes to our social environment and the people that we're connected with. And so for this reason, with all of this Pluto energy, I feel a lot of the masculines are going to be encountering a lot of karmic people that are going to be threatening them, or you might even feel spiritually attacked, divine feminine, when it comes to your ideas. So keep your ideas to yourself. You know, there's a lot of miserable people out there that don't like to see others succeeding and happy. So any new creative ideas, be careful who you're sharing them with, divine feminine. Make sure you're connected to somebody trustworthy that is, part of the twin flame collective and part of your mission. Do be aware of that. I want you to really be careful of the actions you're taking or sharing any ideas right now, divine feminine. The masculine is feeling very threatened. I feel he's also challenging a lot of people in the energies, and he might even have to face some legal consequences when it comes to the 3D aspect of the journey. We also got Pluto square in the North Node. And so this is creating a lot of intense transformational changes collectively. So a lot of us too have been called to confront these people that are connected to these old patterns, these old beliefs, and to confront our inner self that resonated with that energy, which is no longer serving us moving forward into these union energies. And so it's going to be a very challenging time coming up here. We're going to have to face our deepest, darkest fears. We're going to have to stare those insecurities in the face. And we have to do all of this in order to move towards our fated destiny for this reunion with the counterpart. And so there's going to be a lot of intense, challenging emotions arising, fear, anger, jealousy, obsessiveness, and these emotions are related to power and control issues. There's nothing to be jealous of. We cannot control, or we can't own people. We can't control people. If you have jealousy issues or fear issues, that's your own issue. You can't keep projecting bitterness, jealousy, and all of that onto other people. That's your own issue. I'm not afraid to lose anything. I'm not afraid of rejection. I do still have some anger that I have to transmute. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but all of these emotions are coming up with power and control. So how can you confront these behaviors and maybe confront some people to release these old cycles, these old patterns and behaviors that just aren't meant for us to step into our destiny of mastery, right? And so we can work with the energy, we can work with it, or we can resist it. But either way, Pluto's saying it's time to be growth oriented. And so the energy of the North Node is I feel pushing the Taurus North Node collective into a greater sense of empowerment. And so if you're not a Taurus North Node, look to where Taurus would fall in the housing side of your chart, because that's where the North Node is saying, where can you step into a more authentic essence? So normally Taurus would reside in the second house of self-worth, self-value, material like abundance. And so if you harbor a Taurus North Node in the second house, these energies, the North Node is going to be hitting your second house of self-worth and self-value. And if you've, put all of your worth and value on the things that you own and have, you might lose all of those things, especially if you also have like a Taurus South Node. Another big thing that I feel is coming up. So the Scorpio eclipse is going to be hitting the 8th house. Naturally, Scorpio rules the 8th house. And so this is about transforming, right? It is death energy. So when we find our personal sense of empowerment, then we can step towards being authentic, and then we can have fulfillment in our lives and in our relationships. And so there's going to be a lot of people leaving our lives. Anybody that cannot be authentic kind of has to go. And so it's going to be a lot of intense transformation, a lot of intense confrontations. I do feel a lot of the karmics really have been holding the masculines back from fulfilling their potential and their mission. And so they're going to be creating all kinds of challenges this week because they don't want to let go. But the second we let go and surrender, we enter this deep healing process of personal growth. And so we can work with these energies consciously, which is, I feel, what many of us are doing. We're consciously aware that we're on the awakening journey. We've been doing the shadow work, digging deeper. If we have the willingness to face our fears and work with the energies, this is a powerful short window of opportunity to embrace positive change. And change isn't easy. But I do feel we've got some big energy. So I want you to really have a look at where Pluto is going to hit in your houses, because this is going to be the area most affected with these energies. Look to where the full moon eclipse is going to hit you in the houses. So the first house is the ascendant. And so this is our most authentic essence. This is the area of self-identity. So if you have Aquarius or Scorpio in the first house, you might go through a self-identity crisis. This is how we act in life. And so how can you have that authentic personality put out there, not an image that you project others to see? How can you shift your attitude towards life if you're in a lower vibration? With the second house, it's material security and values, right? It rules money, our finances, our self-worth, our basic values, our personal possessions. So how do you view yourself, right? What is your self-worth and your self-value? The third house is about communication. So it is about intellectual learning. The fourth house is home. And so and if you've got it in one of these areas, you're likely to be uprooted out of a family foundation. This is about getting to the roots of your deeply seated emotions that have affected your sense of self-worth. The fifth house is our creative self-expression. It's romance, entertainment, kids, where we take risks. So you might be finding yourself wanting to take a risk in love, or maybe Pluto might bring a surprise of a baby on the way or something like that. The sixth house is the area of learning by material transactions. So this could be career or health. A lot of this has to do with career, right? Learning by material transaction. And so this could be a positive or a negative, right? Depending on the integration you've already done. And so we had Aquarius, we had Saturn in Aquarius before it went into Pisces. So the last 2.5 years was like a prerequisite of how Pluto in Aquarius is going to hit you in that house. So we've had the time to do the prerequisite to be ready for what Pluto's going to bring forward. Did you do the work? Or did you bypass and did you lollygag, right? And so all of these are going to be playing factors with how these energies are going to be coming in. Seventh house is about one-on-one relationships. So if you've got Aquarius or Scorpio in the seventh house, get ready for relationship upheaval, to really upheave your social group. The eighth house is emotional security and security of the soul, naturally ruled by Scorpio. And so how can you dig deep to find that sense of security within yourself? The ninth house is the higher mind exploration, a lot of learning that shapes our personal identity. And so with the 10th house, this is also the house of fate. So there could be a lot of fated, destined changes in order to get you to take your place in the world. It is also, our midhaven. It's the work we will do. It becomes more important as we grow older. The 11th house is our social interactions, our intellectual security within our social groups. So you might have a social group upheaval if Aquarius or Scorpio is in your 11th house and the 12th house. Well, we're burying karma there, right? This is the house of the subconscious as well. It's like the house that knows no bounds. It is where we meet our karma, where we meet our dharma, where we deal with endings. It's where we bury the past. And so there's a lot playing out. Pay attention, right? And like I said, if you'd like help with that, I would love to get you booked in for either a personal or a twin flame reading. So we've got all of these energies indicating this strong spiritual connection between the two twins is coming together. So these energies can lead to a lot of great transformation and healing for both of the twins. So I think I'm going to leave it at that, and we will jump back on tomorrow. Well, I will jump back on tomorrow, and I'll go a little bit deeper into the eclipse. I'm going to start pulling some cards. I didn't expect to go this long, but I did choose the Wisdom of the Oracle today. I got it over there looking up on the shelf. Look at that. Soulmates, chop wood. Well, doesn't that just confirm? This is the energy of chop wood, carry water, right? And so we are destined soulmates. And this is about our service mission. And so 42, breaking down to a 6, right? The 6, domestic harmony, leaving the past behind, leaving the challenges behind. And this is a 41, breaking down to a 5. And so if we get a 6 and a 5, what do we get? We get 11, right? The union energy. And so this is a divinely guided union. If you see like the spirit guide above the clouds, bring these two people together, and penguins mate for life. And so the feminine's love, I feel, has been very unwavering. I noticed the blue scarf around the masculine's throat, and there's been a throat block for sure. But I do feel this is the key window opportunity for union for our mission work. And so the masculine also has a mess to clean up is kind of what I feel. So We'll see what else needs to come through with this deck. Why? And understanding these relationship patterns, right? And so like the book of knowledge, the Akashic book with the why. And so the feminine did the digging, did the why. It's a 31. So the 4, which is the foundations, right? And so understanding the whys of the patterns, because we can't really ascend until we understand the whys of the lesson, right? So we'll get a few of these. Oh, building blocks, the fates. And there we got this unfinished symphony. And so we're reaching completion starting back at 1. And so this isn't a never-ending connection. It is an infinite connection. It's always going to be an unfinished symphony. So this is the energy of something coming back that's unfinished. A 10, completing, starting back at 1. And below that, we have the deep knowing, and that's the high priestess energy. And so we do have a deep knowing that we are getting close. The feminine is like the goddess of the moon. And so it kind of looks like 2 moons, right? The 2 moons, something about that Nibiru energy, planet Nibiru. And 43 is the number of the mystic. I just had my 43rd birthday. That's interesting. But that's the energy of deeply knowing, right? That a message is coming. I do feel a message is coming. There's that 15 about the release of a toxic cycle. All of these bottled up, unleft emotions or unfelt emotions, unsaid words are coming. So the stork brings news. A message is coming about rebuilding these foundations, right? And so the fates. So this is a fated connection. It's kind of like the star. It's the 17 card, which is the star. 8. What goes around comes around. This is an infinite connection. Sorry, I had a message come through. And then we get the building blocks, another 28, breaking down to a 10. And so, this, you know, it looks like a feminine. Look at all the pixels. I remember the ascension energy and seeing everything so super defined in these higher pixels of energy of light. And so the feminine has to rebuild that foundation from rock bottom too, right? We have to be completely interdependent. We can't be codependent either. We have to release the part of us that resonated with those toxic relationship cycles as well. And so completion, right? As the feminine rebuilds that foundation of self, fates can kind of take over. Fated, destined change. 5 of Wands, rivalry. The Hermit, introspection. Ooh, and the 10 of Pentacles, legacy with the divine feminine, creativity, abundance. And so I do feel there's a lot of gossip about the foundation with the feminine. I feel the feminine's kind of just sitting patient, sitting pretty, knowing that, you know, when it's time to leap forward, we're going to leap forward. And so I do feel this is about building these legacies. So right now I feel there's a lot of rivalry playing out collectively. And so how can you go within in this state of introspection to rebuild that legacy, right? 10s are completion. Something needs to end for that new beginning. So the ending of a foundation is kind of what it feels like for a lot of the masculines, rivalry, contentment. So I also feel that internal battle for the feminine when it comes to receiving the masculine, that inner battle of, you know, all of the rivalries, all of the pain, and the emotional damage. Can we still have that contentment? So an inner battle, I feel, for the feminine as the masculine kind of faces the external challenges. So we'll see what's going on here. I'm using the Beautiful Creatures deck, and I did grab the Light Seers Tarot. We'll clarify a little bit deeper if need be. So we got the 9 of Pentacles. It does say rewards. And that is anchored with the 7 of Pentacles, progress. So we got a 2 of Pentacles at play. We got the Moon. So that is concealment, fear, facing fears, anchored down by the 9 of Wands. There's that Jesus consciousness, the coming to Jesus moment. Stamina, finding the stamina. We get the 10 of Cups, anchored down by the Page of Cups. So that's feeling really good. An offer. we are here to invent these new cycles, right? Ooh, we get the Strength card as the underlying energy, anchored down by the Hanged One. And so the strength and the fortitude to gain this new perception. And so Pisces and Leo. And so this Strength card, and then the Hanged One below it, it's like the house of cards is crumbling, right? The facade, the false counterpart is crumbling. And then we got Kali here, and Kali is the great destroyer, right? The great protector. I also feel the devil energy, breaking free from the devil. They're showing me the octopus. And so finding the strength to have the eye of the tiger. I also feel like going down a lot of rabbit holes. Overall energy, we get the abundance, the Ace of Pentacles anchored down by the Empress. And so I do feel the Empress holds the key, the golden opportunity. That's the divine feminine. That's the Taurus, Libra energy, a gift. I do feel a gift for the feminine. What's on the bottom of the deck? The Ace of Cups with the Eight of Wands, a message. Get ready to receive a message. The masculine's been imprisoned in this situation, like I want to say in like the prehistoric ages, in these deeply distorted gender roles. He's been caged, I feel, caged up. I think get ready to receive a message about his karmic imprisonment and wanting to start over as that person that can be reliable and dependent on. He's definitely going through some type of death and transition, the scorpionic energy, and tapped in beyond the veil. The veil is very thin right now, so I feel a lot of paranormal activities, a lot of connection with the higher realms and the guides right now, which is creating an overwhelming sense of anxiety and fear, because he's been inflexible, and the Two of Pentacles is screaming a realignment is on the way. And there is going to be that finality, that final ending, if it hasn't already taken place. And I do feel a lot of memories. And so the masculine is facing treachery, right? It's kind of what it feels like. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, it's the perfect opportunity to plant those seeds. The Seven is representing, you know, where are you ready to invest in, right? The Seven is saying we can't keep watering these stagnant situations. We have to choose to embrace going our own way. Nine is the pre-empress. This is the energy of independence. And so we see the butterfly transformation, right? And transforming out of these stagnant cycles. And so I also feel, you know, a lot of these masculines have let a lot of time slip by and go wasted due to fear. And this is about being that wounded healer, that master healer. We harbor a lot of these Christ conscious codes. We harbor the highest frequency of unconditional love. And that is what the twins came here. We can't conceal our gifts. We can no longer hide for fear of being punished or, you know, humiliated for our gifts. And so facing the fears of condemnation, because right around the corner is an opportunity for contentment, abundance, to maybe start at that clean slate after a bankruptcy or a 0 point. It's going to take strength. It's going to take fortitude. It's going to take a major shift in perception. We also have some energy with Neptune playing out. I wanted to talk about, I forgot, the moon and Neptune are also forming aspects with Pluto. And so Neptune rules illusions. It's in Pisces. We have the moon in Virgo right now. So breaking free, right? The Virgo Pisces axis we're working with, the Aries Libra axis, and then the Scorpio Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. A lot of big players in the energies right now. And so Leo, Pisces, Virgo, I feel strongly. And then Taurus, Libra. There is an opportunity for a brand new beginning. I do feel a message of love is coming. The masculine has to face that inner dragon. He's going to have to face his fears about coming forward with a message. I do feel a message is coming. And it might not be until Leo season at the 8-8 portal, but things are closing out now is kind of what it feels like. Look at that, Ace of Cups, Knight of Wands. I do feel this is coming in fast. And I also feel as the feminine masters self-love and walks away from the old version and, you know, comes up with a new way of thinking, a new idea, and does the research and does the work on herself, it brings in a message of a new perception, right? Because the Eight of Cups is about walking towards the spiritual journey. So I wanted to ask about the moon. So Pisces, Virgo energy. So I do feel a massive activation of these codes, these gene codes within the Virgo North Node, Pisces South Node collective. So that would also probably be a strong message for Virgo rising or Virgo 12th house, a message of the cycle, right? Closing out the cycle. And so we can't really see the path ahead right now very clearly. Spirit's been hounding, right? To get the feminine unstuck too. We can't sit in this state of boredom, discontent, and allowing the negative emotions to exhaust us. We're here to be creators, right? So let's look a little bit deeper at the Nine of Wands, and that's the broken heart. And so we have to kind of go into the depths of the pain. There's no other way but through feeling. And then that's where the new perception can come in and the balance can be restored. And so those that have chosen to stay stuck, Spirit's about to take them out of that stormy water, whether they're ready for it or not. Because it's time for us to ascend on the spiritual ladder to honor this mission, the Hierophant. Look at that is a spiritual guru. We are here to be these spiritual gurus. So be ready to be dragged to your destination, and you got to go through the trenches. I do feel like messages are coming. The feminines are coming into all new creative aspects. And so, you know, and the masculine's walking a fine line right now as he's being pushed up the ascension ladder is what it feels like. Let's just see what is coming in further for the Empress here. We'll clarify that. Oh, we get the Lovers. And the Knight of Pentacles. So there is an offer coming. Yeah, there is. And it's going to have love and fondness attached to it. It's going to, you know, it's going to bring a lot of abundance. This is somebody that's willing to dedicate and do the work, the Virgo energy, the Gemini. So Mars and Gemini coming through strongly. I just feel you have nothing to worry about. Release your anxieties. This Queen of Wands is deeply rooted. She's kind of just embracing the magic. So release any fears. That conversation is coming. Oh, yes, it is. The conversation is coming. You are going to have that face-to-face. And so there's a lot of fears and anxieties being released. I feel another layer of understanding the abandonment wound. A lot of the feminines were left, you know, alone to feel this for a very long time. But I do feel that face-to-face. Look at you. You've both grown. Matured is what I want to say. Two very calm, peaceful people ready to have that face-to-face conversation. So I think things are moving forward very quickly. There is going to be an offer of love. It might start off small with a text message, but this is ultimate wish fulfillment. And so get ready for the masculine to take charge and come in with communication. It's kind of what it feels like, divine feminine. So, yeah, I think they wish they could take back all of the things that they said. I think they wish they could take back, you know, walking away. So, this is definitely a huge lesson in gender roles. And so that's what the masculine is currently facing when it comes to problems. The reflection in the mirror is the gender roles. And so be present. This is an eternal, loving connection. So stay in the now, divine feminine. Just enjoy the journey, attract positive people and energy into your life because we are connected. We are eternally connected at the soul level. We are these warriors of light. And so the mission is always unconditional love. There is a fated meeting imminent. So celebrate. These blocks are being blasted out of the water. I do feel a lot is being disillusioned when it comes to the false contracts. And those karmic partners were there to activate us and to push us both to grow into our highest potential. So get ready, because divine timing is saying we are co-creating the next leg of the journey. And that's what I got. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book with me, hit me up in the comment section or send me an email. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.